1 ERA in the American League. We are ready to go. Hernandez is now in the major leagues, and the pitch is taken up high for a ball. 24-year-old right-hander is now in the books as Cleet Thomas in the leadoff spot, playing in left field, and will take the pitch away for a ball and a 2-0 count on Thomas. Thomas getting some playing time out there in left for the Tigers, where they move some players through. Jimmy Leland likes to get everybody playing off the bench, and Thomas and others get opportunities on a regular basis. 2-1 strikeout, and the fastball will be taken up high, and Hernandez falls behind. 3-1.
And David Hernandez will pitch up in the zone. He throws a fastball that's got a little extra skip on it.
And walking. So the first batter at the major league level, faced by Hernandez, will get the free pass, and Thomas can run. There are the career numbers in the minors for the Orioles starter.
David Hernandez was drafted 3 times, finally signed with the Orioles in 2005. 28 and 26 with a very good ERA and just shy of 100 starts. This year he held right-handed hitters to a 185 average, and last Friday against Rochester, he struck out 14.
He has been a strikeout pitcher throughout his career, virtually at every level, but you are also seeing the problem he has had. He has thrown a lot of pitches. Melvin Morris coming in. He's had trouble going deep into ball games. One, because he does strike out a lot of people, and that means you're going to throw a lot of pitches. The other is because he tends to go deep into counts, and so that is something that the Orioles will take a long look at here, and he's got to keep an eye on Cleet Thomas over there at first base. Thomas has speed. Polanco at the plate, and will take the pitch on the inside corner for a strike. 1-1.
Yeah, and you can imagine he's got some adrenaline. He threw a changeup right there to get it into strike zone. His changeup is getting better all the time. Basically just the 3 pitch pitchers we mentioned: fastball, slider, changeup. But he's trying to calm the butterflies. They're probably rattling around there pretty good in his stomach right now.
Oh man. 1-1 strike count. Throw over. Aubrey Huff holding the bag, and he'll get him back in. Orioles continue to debut young pitchers. The 5th Oriole to make his major league debut this season for the O's. Koji Uehara, of course, is counted among that group, even though he is a veteran from Japan. 1-1. Thomas not going. Polanco pops that one up center field. Jones is there, and a good inside pitch gets Polanco one away here in the first.
Now let's take a look at the Orioles defense behind David Hernandez. Raimo, Jones, and Marquette is left to right. Estouris is back in the lineup after Robert Andino had a great game yesterday. Roberts at second, Moran up at the corners, and Greg Zaun gets the honor of introducing David Hernandez to the big leagues.
Little light rain now has started to come down again. That could be a problem on the night. The pitch is taken inside. Meglio Ordonez making the start in right field. Ordonez has had better starts, but 263, couple of homers, 19 RBIs. Would not look bad with a lot of names attached to it, but for Ordonez, he'd like a bit more of the power. And the fastball is taken inside, and a 2-0 count.
Yeah, Ordonez was away from the club for a while, had some family issues he was attending to, and he is back now, but certainly one of the premier right-handed hitters in all of baseball. And his numbers, as Gary mentioned, not normal numbers for Ordonez.
Foul back into the screen, and a 2-ball, 1 strike count as the umbrellas go up behind Meglio Ordonez. Ordonez has always done well against the Orioles, a .311 career hitter. 9 home runs, 45 RBIs against the O's. The O's won the series against the Tigers last year, 4-3. A step off, and Thomas gets back to the bag. As if it weren't enough for David Hernandez to be making his first major league start, he has to do it with some rain coming down. 2-1 delivery, and the pitch is taken down low, and it goes to 3-1.
I don't think it's raining where he is right now. I think it's about 85 and sunny. He's
85. Very
happy to be here and thrilled to finally realize the dream that he's had since growing up.
Out of Sacramento, California, runner going, and a chopper that's going to be a base hit into right field. A perfect hit and run, intended or not. Ball is bobbled on that wet surface. Marquez will get it back in. Ordonez hit a 15 chopper And Roberts had gone over to cover at second base with the runner Thomas going, and that one just rolled its way into the outfield.
Yeah, Ordonez really handles the bat well. It's a good pitch, probably a ball out of the strike zone, but he was able to bounce it past Huff into right field. Markakis took his eye off the ball for a moment. Thomas had already stopped at third, so he couldn't take advantage.
Well, can't get much tougher than this for David Hernandez. First and third, one down, and Major League's leading hitter will foul that one back. Cabrera at the plate.
You talk about one of the best hitters in the game, and you can look at Miguel Cabrera, a young guy, just 25 years old, and really in the prime of his career. He has established himself as one of the pure power hitters and a guy that hits for an averaged over 118 RBIs over the past 5 seasons.
And he'll take the pitch down low. Cabrera first in average, 10th in RBIs coming into this ball game. He is third in the American League in hits, among the top 10 in total bases, slugging percentage, second best on base percentage. I mean, this is just one of the game's bright offensive stars with first and third and one out. The delivery to him will be swung and a miss. Good pitch. That one went down and away, 1-2.
Well, when you talk to people that have seen David Hernandez throughout his career in the minor leagues, they all talk about a swing and a miss fastball. And even great hitters like Cabrera have a tendency to swing over the top of his fastball underneath it when it's upstairs. He's got a lot of late life. When it gets toward the batting zone, the hitting zone, it kind of picks up speed.
Here's the 1-2 delivery. Cabrera will foul that one back. For the Orioles starter, David Hernandez, in 2008 at Double-A with Bowie, led the Eastern League with 166 strikeouts. And he had the 4th best strikeout per 9-inning ratio among all pitchers in the minors at every level. 4th best. He averaged 10.6 strikeouts per 9 innings. Cabrera waiting on the 1-2 delivery. Get your attention with a heater inside. 2-2.
Pretty good fastball. He's been up 94 miles an hour so far here this evening, and that ball straightened up Cabrera. Now you got to back it up and make a good pitch here.
Early on, Tigers threatening. A 2-ball, 2-strike count. And Cabrera will foul that one back into the seats. Took a little off that, and the count will stay at 2-2. Cabrera's a .308 hitter lifetime against the O's. Couple of home runs and 8 RBIs. There are some players like Cabrera and Polanco in this lineup who have long been fine offensive players when they're up against the O's. Not that they aren't elsewhere, but they've really been Oriole stymier players. 2-ball, 2-strike delivery on the way, and he got him. Cabrera goes down swinging on a breaking ball away, and a very big out.
He's got great velocity, and you talk about a good target down and away, and it's 95 miles an hour away from Cabrera. There's that late life as it gets to the strike zone. It's kind of sped up, and that's a pretty good name to put down in your little scrapbook. First major league strikeout, Miguel Cabrera.
Throw the ball off. He'll take that one home. Only 23 strikeouts on the season for Cabrera, so he does not go easily in that route. Now Curtis Granderson, first and third and 2 down. Hernandez a chance to get out of the inning. Pitch is taken down low by Granderson, who makes the start in center. Granderson averaged just 247, but he's got 11 home runs, 27 RBIs. He is second on the team in homers. 1-0 delivery, and Granderson will take that one for a strike. 1-1.
Pretty good changeup right there as he backed off it and got the strike. Well, you start doing that when you throw 95, 96 miles an hour, and you're going to get big league hitters' attention quick.
1-1. Granderson takes the slider inside, and a 2-ball, 1-strike count. Two base runners, Cleet Thomas, Maglio Ordonez. Here's the 2-1 delivery. The breaking ball that will miss down low, and the count will go to 3-1. At AAA this year for Hernandez, we talked about the innings pitched. He worked 43 in the third innings in his 8 starts. So getting into that 5th inning was about it. And it was because of the number of pitches thrown that fine 2.91 ERA at AAA. 3-1 delivery on the way, and the bases are loaded. So he has walked 2 here in the first inning and loaded them up. And we were talking about the home run leader for the Tigers. This is the man coming to the plate. Brandon Inge playing at third base. Inge has picked up 12 homers, 33 RBIs.
He's really come back to his own now that they put him at third base defensively. It's kind of freed up his mind to concentrate on hitting. He bounced all over the place, played in the outfield, played behind the plate, played at third base, but now he's the third baseman, and because he's in one position, he's been able to recapture that home run stroke. A couple of years ago, he had 27 home runs batting down in the order for this Tiger team.
Bases loaded, 2 down. Hernandez delivers to him, and it is taken down low for a ball. So Brandon Inge, who is coming up for the 7th time with the bases loaded already this year, he has gone 4 for 6 with the sacks full. 1 grand slam home run. Delivery to him in the air to left field. Reimold is there. And Hernandez works his way out of the inning. No runs on 1 hit as the Tigers leave the bases loaded. Orioles lineup coming up. There's some rain still coming down here. It is in the forecast. The field was actually covered after the Tigers got done batting practice, and it stopped raining, so the field did not take any amount of rain at all. Here's the starting lineup brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Roberts, Jones, Markakis, Huff, Mora, and Scott. Reimold, Zahn, and his tourists.
Now it's time for the PNC scouting report for Armando Galarraga. He is a fastball, sinker, slider pitcher, and he'll really throw the slider out to right-handed batters. He's got a lot of confidence in it down and away to the right-handers. This will be his 10th start. He's had a terrible month of May. He is 0-4 with an ERA closing in on 10.
And Brian Roberts will kick it off with a base hit. Played by Ordonez, and Roberts has a 5-game hit streak as he continues red hot.
One thing Jimmy Leyland wanted with his Tigers was to get more athletic, and they've done that with Cleet Thomas in left, Curtis Granderson in center, and Ordonez in right. Inge and Santiago on the left side, and Santiago split time with Adam Everett at shortstop. Polanco and Cabrera on the right side, and Gerald Laird, who they acquired in an offseason trade with the Texas Rangers, has really stabilized the situation behind the plate for Jim Leyland's Tigers.
So the leadoff man on, and that will bring up Adam Jones. He too has got a 4-game hit streak going. He way inside. For Galarraga, this is kind of not only an important start, as Buck mentioned, because he's 0-4 in the month of May, but Jeremy Bonderman is somewhere down there in the minors looking to come back up. And this spot in the rotation may be up for grabs, and it may be Galarraga who could get grabbed, and he knows that. Here's the 1-0 delivery. Jones, did he go? Yes, he did. On a pitch probably inside, 1-1.
Yeah, Bonderman pitched last Tuesday for Toledo. In fact, that's the game that Matt Meters went 4 for 4 in. And Galarraga, you can see his struggles in May. 5 games, 0-4, and a .993 ERA after a pretty decent start. But he's in a rut right now.
1 ball, 1 strike count. That one is drilled, and it's going to be foul, but watch it anyway because it's a long way out there. Wow.
He's in one of those things
he is,
right
isn't
now.
He?
Yeah, he's in one of those things. Every time he gets that foot down quick, boy, there's some large sound at the end of that pitch. He is squaring up on the ball almost on a consistent basis just about every time he swings.
And the count will go to a ball and 2 strikes. Jones 4th in the league in average coming into today's play. Galarraga's pitch to him. That'll be fouled away. He continues to be 2nd in multi-hit games, only to Adam Hill of Toronto, who just left. The Orioles having a sweep of that series. Slugging percentage 2nd in the league, and he is 6th in on-base percentage, and there are other big numbers. Perhaps the most important, he still has the best batting average against right-handed pitchers in Major League Baseball. Shattered bat down to 3rd. Inge is up. There's one. Relay over to 1st, and they get the double play. Good relay by Polanco to Cabrera, and that'll take Roberts off the base pass. 2 down.
Great concentration by Brandon Inge. Watch the barrel of the bat. It's coming toward him, but he never really even thought about it. Throws a pretty low pitch to Polanco, who stays with it and turns the double play very effectively. Polanco did a nice job. That was about a knee-high feed that he got from Inge, but he turned it effectively.
So Adam Jones, who had not hit, was one of only 6 players in the league not to have hit into a double play, has now hit into 2 double plays in the last 3 games. And Nick Markakis. 2 down, nobody on. Nick now at 303. And the pitch will be taken away by Galarraga. So Galarraga gets a big ground ball out here in this inning. And now a chance to face just 3 in the inning if he can get Markakis. Nick coming off a stand against Toronto where he went 3 for 14. He had a run scored and an RBI. It's been a little tough here in the month of May as that average has dipped from about 360.
Yeah, you can see the last 10 games has been a struggle. But boy, he got a big hit yesterday in that 8th inning to tie the game up. A double down into the right field corner.
Galarraga's 1-2 delivery to him. Markakis will take it away. 2-2.
This is the 13th time in the last 26 games that this ball club has been playing in the rain. It's just been a constant factor. And it's such a distraction just to stand up there and try to look through all the raindrops and pick up the baseball.
Yep. Markakis takes the heater, and that'll be that. Galarraga gets the strikeout. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. 1 complete at Camden Yards, no score. Washington, D.C., a chance to win $99 worth of American Classic scratch-off tickets from the Maryland Lottery for every Oriole home run hit tonight. You can have a chance to win, too. Enter by logging in. MASSonSports.com. And the pitch will be taken down low for a ball. Jeff Larish coming to the plate for the Tigers. David Hernandez will try and make it a little more efficient here in the inning. Fastball blown by the designated hitter.
You see that ball just 91 miles an hour, but still Larish looking for a fastball and couldn't square up on it. That's that swing and a miss aspect of his fastball.
1-1 delivery, swung on and missed. Another one up high. That's just what Dave Tremblay was talking about before the game. The difference, what Buck was saying, what makes his fastball better than others. It's that at the end, that explosion. 1-2 delivery and got him. Hernandez gets the strikeout. He's got 2 in the game. One away here in the second inning.
Well, and Larish was looking fastball. There's no question about it. 1-2 pitch right down the middle, basically. A little bit of movement, but that's a 4-seam fastball. He only throws one fastball, but he's got a little bit of extra life on it. You know, there was a guy in Toronto that won a Cy Young Award in 1996, Pat Henkin, and he had a similar kind of fastball that just kind of lighted up 91, 92.
Gerald Laird, the veteran catcher. Jimmy Leland. A lot of complimentary things to say in the Detroit papers about Laird as to why the team pitching is #1 in ERA. He wanted to immediately give credit to the catcher who's handling this staff, and that is the man, Gerald Laird, right there.
Yeah, they had a real problem last year. They just couldn't find anybody back there on a consistent basis to give them stability.
That's got some movement on it down and away, too. 2-1.
Yeah, he's got a lot of confidence in his fastball, and we have seen the fastball from 90 to 95.
He says of the fastball, he says, I throw it because I'm trying to force early contact. He said, I'll take the strikeouts, but said it's like hitters with home runs. Says hitters hit home runs because they hit well, not because they try to. Says I strike out batters because I throw strikes, not because I'm trying to strike them out. 3-1 delivery, a swung on a miss, 3-2.
And isn't it interesting? The more strikes you throw, the more swings you get.
Amazing.
They expand the zone. Then they've got to chase.
He threw 114 pitches, 84 of them strikes in that last outing Buck was talking about. 3-2 delivery down to third base. Melvin Mora. 2 down. Santiago coming up. Tomorrow the Orioles take on the Tigers 7:05, the first fireworks night of the year. Matt Wieters will make his major league debut, and fans are invited to stay after the game for those secondary fireworks. Don't miss the memorable night of Orioles baseball. Tickets start as low as $9. You can avoid the ticket lines and get yours in advance. 888-848-BIRD to go to Orioles.com. And the pitch is taken inside. So Matt Wieters, major league debut, behind the plate tomorrow if all goes well.
32 home runs and a .340 average, a big, powerful switch hitter.
Down to first base. A 1-2-3 inning as Ramon Santiago is retired, and a good one for David Hernandez. No score.
room on the roster today for David Hernandez. The Orioles sent Chris Ray to AAA Norfolk, and Ray says he's going to use the time wisely.
Yeah, I think it's the best thing for me. You know, I need to go down there. I need to get some consistent work, pitch in some, less pressure situations, and really just kind of get my confidence back where it needs to be and get on a roll.
He also said he wants to get that arm slot consistently in the same slot. And Dave Tremblay added he's a late inning guy. He's got to get that confidence and that mentality back. Gary?
And Amber, as Aubrey Huff fouls that one off, it's interesting because Galarraga's got the same problem Chris Ray is battling, and that's trying to find that consistency. So there's the move. Chris Ray sent down. David Hernandez recalled, making his major league debut in this ball game for the O's. Here's the 1-1 delivery on the way to Huff. Dave Tremblay saying before the game he views Chris Ray as a finish guy, a closer. That's what they think his role ultimately is going to be. But they want him to get multiple innings worth of work at the minor league level in order to develop consistency in the arm to be a late finish guy.
Yeah, I talked to Chris today in the clubhouse as he was packing up, getting ready to go down to AAA, and he seemed to be reasonably upbeat. Obviously disappointed about the way he pitched, but I think he understands exactly what the deal is. He needs to go down there and pitch, have some good innings, rebuild his confidence, and there's no question about his arm. His arm's fine. It just needs to find that release point. But it's something that happens. Players don't understand what it means to miss an entire season of playing. And that's what happened to him after that surgery. He missed an entire season. And now it's a matter of getting back into the flow of things again.
So we wish Chris well. And sure he'll be back. Here is Melvin Moore now. The walk surrendered by Galarraga to lead off the inning. In both innings, the Orioles have gotten the leadoff man on base. Galarraga, 36 walks in 47 innings. He'll give you some free passes. Melvin Moore. Moore takes the slider away for a ball. Mentioning that the problem right now that Galarraga is going through with the bad month he's in is also the release point. It's his mechanics. Rick Knapp, the new pitching coach who came over from Minnesota and is now the pitching coach for Jimmy Leland and the Tigers, said the release point's simply been inconsistent since April, and the slider as a result is flattened out and is hittable, and that sink on the fastball has been lost. So a lot of Galarraga's pitches here in the month of May have been up in the strike zone without a lot of movement, and that means you're in trouble, and that's why we showed you the numbers that he hasn't had a win here this month. So the Orioles are going to try and keep that going. Mora has faced Galarraga 3 times, 1 for 3 with a homer. 1-1 delivery. And again, I'm sorry, Buck.
You know, the last time Galarraga faced the Orioles, he's only made 1 start against him. He gave up 3 homers, 1 to Huff, 1 to Moore, and 1 to Luke Scott. So they've had a little success in just a limited number of at-bats that they have seen in Galarraga.
I was going to say, with the rain coming down, we mentioned it the other night for pitchers about, you were talking about staying in your zone, doing what you do. Don't let the rain change how you pitch. Grounded towards third again. In just got that one. There's 1. Relay Polanco, and there's 2. So a double play in each inning. 2 down.
Luke Scott has had a big run just coming back off the disabled list. He took Roy Halladay deep for the 3rd time in his career. Scott hits well against Halladay, now 6 for 10 in his career. For the month, he's at .433 with 3 homers in 9 games. Then he had that time on the disabled list because of an injured shoulder. He's hit well against the Tigers, over .500.
Luke Scott. And he will take the pitch outside for a ball. Quite a way to return from the DL with that shot that he put up. 3rd career home run off Roy Halladay. Swung on a miss, and a season high 3 RBIs that he tied. He also collected his 8th multi-hit game of the season yesterday, and that's all in the game in which he returns from the DL. And with Raimo playing in left field as he is, Luke Scott's going to get some DH work. 1-1 delivery on the way, and a towering fly ball to center field. Granderson going back, warning track wall. Goodbye, home run. He has done it again. Luke Scott with another dinger, and the Orioles have a 1-0 lead.
Luke Scott going to center, pitch out over the plate. Look how he stays on that pitch. It's a pretty good pitch away, and it's running away from Luke, but he stays on it, gets enough of it to drive it over the wall in center. Curtis Granderson runs out of room, and he is hitting the ball to a big part of the field and hitting it with authority.
So a 2-out homer. And now here is Nolan Reimold, the hero of last day-night game. 1-0 delivery. Reimold will take the pitch up high as Reimold hit the home run that gave the Orioles the 12-10 win in the 11th inning of the ball game. A walk-off homer and his first game-winning RBI. That one drilled into the seats, foul.
Nolan Reimold has hit 4 home runs. His first one came against Mariano Rivera at Yankee Stadium. And then he goes deep in Washington. Hits his 3rd home run here, but none more dramatic than the walk-off home run he hit in yesterday's game in the 11th inning. 4 home runs and his first taste of Major League Baseball.
Swung on and missed, and he goes down swinging as Galarraga will get the strikeout, but Scott gets the home run. And the Orioles take a 1-0.
The lady wasn't very nice. She'd always get mad at us for going on her property or throwing baseballs or footballs on her yard. And so me and my friends, we'd always go and, doorbell ditch them or do something to make her mad and get irritated with us. And I always remember getting in trouble for that.
And that is Covering the Bases. Brad Bergeson is the subject tonight, brought to you by Home Depot. Visit homedepot.com/spring. More saving, more doing, the power of Home Depot. And the pitch will be taken inside. And in our Covering the Bases tonight, the Orioles' Brad Bergeson, we are delighted to have his mom joining us. Sue is on the line to talk about her son. Sue, great to have you with us. Thank you for doing this.
Hi, thank you. It's a pleasure. I appreciate it.
Got to tell us a little bit about a youngster who played not only one sport, but apparently, as most athletes do, a lot of sports, and about when the decision came that maybe baseball was going to be the game.
I would say the decision came probably his junior year of high school. He did play basketball and football also, but we really tended to concentrate on the baseball after that point.
When you
Go
ahead, Sue.
Football injuries, so we decided football wasn't the best sport.
See, when you have a son that's talented in many sports, other than the physical aspects, did you ever sense that because he was playing other sports, he was really well-rounded in all of his athletic skills?
I did. I have to credit his dad. Art is a great athlete himself, and he taught Brad a lot over the years. So we feel he is very blessed.
Coming to the major league level, tell us the story of how you found out about the fact that he was going to be pitching at the big league level.
Well, I was actually I was in Georgia visiting Brad on a Norfolk Tides road trip. I brought our new black lab puppy Pumpkin over to visit Brad. Brad's her very best friend, so she needed to see her buddy. And I had lunch with Brad, dropped him off back at his hotel. About an hour later, he called me and asked me what I was doing Tuesday, and I said, well, I'll be at work. And he said, I hope you can take the day off, Mom, because I just got called up, and I hope you can come up to Baltimore. So, of course, Mom started crying.
No.
I've proven there's crying in baseball, that's for sure.
And that's a very worthy cause to cry for, I'll tell you that right now.
Well, we're so thankful and appreciative to the Orioles and to the fans for their giving my son this opportunity and the support. I'll tell you, that moment will be in my mind and heart forever. And also the debut night, that was a very special night for our family.
Good for you. Polanco up there, 2-ball, 2-strike count on him, and the delivery will be fouled off. It'll stay at 2-2. We also, now I want to ask you this because we were given a little tip on this one. Maybe it even came from you. Is there a Papa Bear story you're supposed to tell us?
Yes, there is. When Brad was cast as Papa Bear in his first grade play, Goldilocks Day in Court, that was at Fairlands Elementary School in Pleasanton, California, where he grew up. The Bear family actually took Goldilocks to court for breaking into their house. And during dress rehearsal on the day of the production, Brad decided he didn't want to be Papa Bear anymore. So without warning, he bolted from the auditorium stage and started to run home. And I had to run after him, picking up his costume and hearing the teacher's voice over the loudspeaker, Papa Bear, please return to the stage, Papa Bear.
That's beautiful.
We won't tell any of his teammates that now.
Don't tell. But he came through that night. He pulled it off. He wore his costume, and Goldilocks was forgiven, so it turned out to be a good night for everyone.
Good story. Well, now you're going to see a lot of Major League Baseball games at Camden Yards, I would suppose.
I love the ballpark. What a beautiful, beautiful atmosphere, and I feel so blessed and thankful.
Well, Sue, we can't thank you enough for coming on with us. It's great to have him up here, and it looks like a career in which you're going to get plenty of opportunities to see some games with your son pitching. Thank you for being with us, and we look forward to seeing you here at the baseball park.
Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Sue Bergeson joining us. That's Brad's mom covering the bases, brought to you by Home Depot. 1-1 delivery on the way to Magglio Ordonez with a couple down and nobody on, and another youngster, David Hernandez, making his debut, charting over there on the bench. Brad Bergeson.
Yeah, and they basically grew up in the same area out in California. And Bergeson was from Fairfield, Pleasanton area down around San Francisco Bay, and Hernandez grew up in Sacramento. And Ed Sprague, longtime scout for the Orioles, signed Hernandez to a contract out of Cosumnes River College right outside of Sacramento.
And Hernandez was headed over to the dugout. Not quite. 3-ball, 2-strike count on Ordonez.
Take a look at the last pitch on Masson pitch tracks as that ball was pulled out of the strike zone.
That one in the air to center field. Jones getting over, and he's got it. So Hernandez has retired the side in order. 2 in a row, and 7 in a row set down. Orioles lead it. Low fares, no hidden fees. By Acura Advance. And by PNC leading the way. And through the raindrops, the Orioles have taken the lead here against the Tigers in this first of 4 as they look to make it 4 in a row. 1-0 lead. Gary Thorne, Buck Martinez, Amber Theo Harris, and on the mound Galarraga gets ready to go against Greg Zahn, and Zahni will foul that one back. 7 in a row retired by a rookie pitcher making his major league debut, throwing some strikes.
Yeah, he sure is. A little bit of nerves in the first inning, but he was able to strand the bases loaded, and since then he's been pounding the strike zone. This is one of the best hitting ball clubs in all of baseball. Certainly star hitters all up and down the order, and David Hernandez done a nice job of continuing to throw strikes. It's still the best pitch in baseball, that first ball fastball strike, and it expands the strike zone, makes everybody think about swinging the bats. He's shown a pretty good changeup so far, gotten a couple of sliders over. So far, so good for David Hernandez.
Galarraga, the delivery to Zahn, and that will be fouled off. I thought Jimmy Leyland, the skipper of the Tigers, talking about throwing strikes. We were down there on the bench talking to me before the game. Jimmy always makes me smile, but I really had to smile at this. He was talking about, Jimmy, this season seems to be the word is command your fastball. And Jimmy was like, what the hell? Said, have you ever heard a guy who said throw the first pitch out of the strike zone? Have you ever heard that? I was like, Jimmy, you're absolutely right. So Jimmy was like, nothing's changed here. Throwing the fastball across the plate is number 1 when it comes to pitching.
Yeah, and then he looked at me and says, even when you played, they used to say throw it over.
Back in the old golden age of the
old days.
And he's absolutely right. That really has never changed. Here's the 2-2 delivery to Zahn, and swung on a miss. Galarraga gets the strike.
Yeah, it's really interesting how every year there's a hot topic or somebody comes up with a new phrase and says something the same in a different fashion. Yeah. And that's what's happened this year a couple of times, and said, well, how about if we go strike 1? Well, wouldn't that be a good idea?
I'm waiting for the guy who says,
we're going to
throw that first one away.
Yeah.
Well, start with ball 1.
We're going to give him an edge.
That ain't happening. But that is the cue word all around baseball this season is command of your fastball. And what the Orioles have tried to do with the young pitchers is institute that not when they get here, but while they're down at the minor league level working on it.
Yeah, what happens, I think, Gary, is a lot of these players are specialized, and there's a specialized player right there.
Is he doing a number at the bottom of that lineup or what? As Torres has one of the hottest bats in the lineup right now.
Yeah, he's done a great job. But my thought was about these young pitchers. Most of these guys start pitching in high school, maybe even earlier, and they specialize in pitching. So most of them haven't hit an awful lot, so they don't understand how tough it is to hit. So I think now the Orioles are doing a great job of encouraging them to throw a lot of strikes. The one thing, too, that we've noticed with all these young pitchers that have come up here, they don't get rattled. They just go throw strikes. It's like no big deal. And I think it's good because they go into spring training with the Orioles. They get exposed to the Oriole team, coaches, managers, players. And then when they're called up here, they see familiar faces. And I think this is a good clubhouse to come into right now because there is a transition going on. Yeah. No question about it. Nick Markakis in the outfield, Adam Jones in the outfield. You got Cesar Stewart here, Brian Roberts. There's a lot of stability here for a long time, and it's getting younger and younger. And then you get more young players up here. There's kind of a certain little frat house kind of attitude going on that has a lot of energy.
Brian Roberts will take that one away and fouls it off. And certainly tomorrow, with Matt Wieters coming up, I mean,
he's coming up?
Apparently tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Yeah, tomorrow. I've heard that. It's a rumor.
Okay.
There's also a rumor that Dave Tremblay said that tomorrow they'll be opening up the ballpark at noon. Everybody can camp out on the field. Pizzas will be given away, and Matt Wieters will show up. All of that's untrue, except for the part Matt Wieters will show up. Dave was just trying to take things down a little bit. So that we don't end up with Matt Wieters supposed to come up here and hit 8 home runs in his first game and make the Hall of Fame. Certainly, everybody's anticipating it for tomorrow night, but give him a chance.
Yeah, absolutely. Matt Wieters is an exceptional prospect, a major league prospect that's going to come up and get a chance to play in the big leagues. He's probably going to have some adjustments. There's no question. He's a switch hitter. He's a very skilled and talented young player, but we got to give him a chance to get his feet on the ground here in the big leagues.
And that will be tomorrow against these Tigers. A 1-ball, 2-strike count. Runner at first base, 1 down. Brian Roberts. Orioles up 1-0. Roberts lifts that one high, but not deep to left field. Cleet Thomas. He's got it. Roberts is retired, and there are 2 down. As this Torres, who had the single, goes back to the bag. History's biggest hit is back. Don't miss a sneak peek of Ice Road Truckers. It's coming up in the middle of the 8th inning from the History Channel. Tough to beat the greatest catch, but pretty darn good show. 2 down. Here is Adam Jones. He hit into a double play his first time up. Galarraga with a walk and 3 strikeouts so far in the ball game. And a 4-game hit streak intact coming into this one for that .357 batting average. 36 RBIs. He and Nick Markakis. Aubrey Huff gone back and forth as the leaders in RBIs so far this season for the Orioles. Galarraga's 1-0 delivery to him. Check swing called strike. 1 ball 1 strike on Jones. Orioles with a 3-game win streak for the first time this season, trying to extend that to 4 tonight against the Tigers, who have won 7 of their last 10 ball games and have really become a very balanced ball club over the last 3 weeks in particular.
Yeah, and when you think about the way everything has come together, it's pretty interesting, the evolution of this ball club.
Is Torres at first. Jones the foul ball.
You know, one thing about Adam Jones, he's got a marvelous ability to retain anything that coaches tell him, and he has the ability to break down his own at-bats. And he makes adjustments during the course of an at-bat, during the course of a game. He'll have 1 bad at-bat or 2 bad at-bats, but he will make adjustments, something Terry Crowley has talked about since he first got to know Adam Jones, how he has retention.
2 ball 2 strike count. Long look and a little lob toss over to first.
Yeah, a lot of hitters, and this is just a trait hitters have. You know, they'll get a piece of information. Terry Crowley will give Adam some checkpoints, and he never goes back to them because Adam always remembers those checkpoints. But a lot of hitters will be back the next week going, what was that thing you told me last week I was supposed to do with my foot? Adam never has any of those problems.
And Jones chasing one down and away. Not happy with that at bat either as he strikes out. The 4th K picked up by Galarraga. Orioles remain up 1-0. By Cabot Wood Stains. Our performance is legendary. This date, 1951. Willie Mays, who had started his career 0 for 12, hit his first home run. It came off Warren Spahn, a 450-footer, and ironically, Mays would hit more home runs against Spahn, 18, than any other pitcher in the course of his career. This date, 1951.
My all-time favorite player, Willie Mays.
That one is swung on and missed. There are many who argue that Willie Mays is the greatest player who ever played the game as an overall baseball player.
Yeah, he could do everything on the field. Marvelous catches, great throwing arm. Maybe the best base runner that's ever run the bases, because he could run full speed backwards into third and watch the relay throws.
Cabrera will foul that one away as David Hernandez retired him on a strikeout, first time up. Pitcher's game 1-3-0 for the Orioles, 0-1-0 for the Tigers. Tigers have stranded 3 and the Orioles have stranded 1. And Cabrera nubs that one foul as he got jammed and felt it in his right hand.
Boy, did he ever. And you don't see that very often with Miguel Cabrera, fighting off an inside pitch, and he is one of the best pure hitters in the game. Hernandez gets that fastball inside. Look at the movement. Got him down around the label. Watch where he makes contact with this, way back over the plate.
And a chopper towards short as Turris gets the out one away. On Saturday, the first 10,000 fans at the Orioles-Tigers game at 7:05 will receive a plush cow presented by Chick-fil-A. Each season, the Chick-fil-A Orioles plush cow is a big hit with fans and collectors, so don't miss the 09 edition. Tickets start as low as $9. To get yours, call the Orioles, 888-848-BIRD, to go to Orioles.com. Eat chicken, love Orioles. That's what it says. And that is taken for a strike. Curtis Granderson. Do you want your plush cow?
Of course I do.
Well, there it is.
You were never going to ask.
I'm asking you out to dinner or anything. We have the plush cows here in the booth, actually. They sit very comfortably watching the game. Here's the 0-2 delivery. Great off-speed pitch right there. Granderson, who walked his first time up, quickly behind on the count, 2 strikes.
Curtis Granderson's been struggling over his last 21 games. He has 18 strikeouts, hitting just .220. That's why they've dropped him out of that leadoff spot.
And the 0-2 delivery is a shattered bat base hit into left field. Grimold will come on. A dying quail right there for Granderson, who will pick up the 1-out single here in the 4th inning.
Yeah, when you're hitting .220, you'll take any kind of hit. Any variety hit, sacrifice bats, whatever it takes. Just get on base and get something going. He can run now. Don't forget that. 7 of 9 this year in the steals. Talking to Andy Van Slyke, the first base coach.
And Brandon Inge will stand in. Zahn has thrown out 24% of base stealers on the season. None of these Tigers have seen the move that Hernandez has to first base. Inge going for the downs, or perhaps Pimlico. And a 1-strike count. Brandon Inge, 12 home runs in his first 45 games. It is the highest total of his career through 45 games. He had 11 in 2006. He's got 12 now. Granderson leaning, not going. Already in this ball game, David Hernandez twice has garnered the attention of 2 of the better hitters in the Detroit lineup by coming inside.
And this one gets away from, this is a changeup that just kind of sailed up and in. He really didn't finish out in front with that changeup. It kind of got away from him. Previous pitch was a fastball that buzzed Cabrera with.
Huff will hold the runner over there at first base. One ball, 1-strike count. Down to third and hard. Melvin Moore, Taylor made 5-4-3. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on base. An auspicious first 4 innings for rookie David Hernandez. Is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. And by Corona and Corona Light, official sponsors of the timeout. Relax responsibly. First of 4 against the Detroit Tigers, who come in with a 3.5 game lead in their division. They are 26-19. And they've got a chance to add a game to that lead if they can win, because Boston beat Minnesota today by a score of 3-1, led by Jason Varitek, who had 2 home runs in the ball game. Markakis will take it for a strike. For the Orioles, Cleveland beat Tampa Bay 2-1 today, and if the Orioles can win this ball game, they will have a chance to move into a tie, trying to move up in the Eastern Division with Tampa Bay. That is down low, and a 1-ball 1-strike count.
How about Tampa Bay? They've lost 17 straight games at Cleveland. That's hard to do.
Boy, probably don't want to go back there and play in a hurry.
Yeah, 2-1 today. Tough ball game today. Jeff Neiman lost.
Ground ball towards second base. Polanco will range. Markakis is 0 for 2 in the ball game. 1 away.
Aubrey Huff's been swinging a hot bat lately. Boy, he has done a nice job building upon last season. Came in and improved upon his early season numbers this year. He's always been a very slow starter, but not the case the last 2 years. He hit that big home run on the flag court against Ricky Romero in the Toronto series. 5-game hit streak, hitting .389.
He drew a walk his first time up. He will take that for a strike. See the streak, .389 average during the streak, with a home run, 4 RBIs, closing in on the 200 homer mark for his career. 0-1 delivery to him, will miss inside. 1-ball 1-strike. Starting the day in the Eastern Division, the Yankees and Red Sox are tied for first now. Incredibly, it's the first time that they've been tied for first since '06, this late into the season. That one caught Huff. And Aubrey will take first base. That is the 3rd hit batter by Galarraga this year. So he's been on with a walk and hit by a pitch.
You can see he just threw that ball right off that shin guard. Thank goodness for that shin guard, because that one would have hurt. But Aubrey's been on both times, and now it'll be over to Melvin Moore, who hit into a double play his first time up. You mentioned Huff, Moore, and Luke Scott have all homered off of Galarraga.
Orioles have the lead on the home run by Luke Scott in the 2nd inning. Tigers had a great chance in the first with the bases loaded, and Hernandez shut him down. Runner goes, hit and run. Oh, Huff is dead meat. Either Melvin didn't see it or Aubrey missaw it, but the hit and run Aubrey thought was on, so he is caught, and Moore clearly did not see that as the sign.
Yeah, you can see Huff with a late break, and he looks up and sees that Melvin's not swinging, knows he's going to be a dead duck at second, just kind of runs back toward first, and Polanco tags him out. That looked to be a hit and run.
So now 2 down, nobody on. And you would suppose that's would exist there, because Dave Tremblay hates the double plays. The Orioles have already hit into 2 of them in the ball game. And when you have Huff on and Mora up, or vice versa, you got a good chance for a double play ground ball.
Yeah, Galarraga pitches down in the zone very effectively, and we've talked about the improved infield defense for the Tigers.
That's going to be a broken bat base hit up the middle. Granderson on to get it. Mora's got a hit. Orioles have 1 on, 2 down. And that will bring up Luke Scott. Scott delivering the long ball in his first at bat, his 7th home run of the season, on a ball that I thought carried surprisingly well for a night where the air is heavy with rain threatening. He hit one to center, and it just kept going. 19 RBIs on the season now for Scott. Moore is at first base.
His home run back in the 2nd inning is a shot, and the ball is away from him. He stays on it very well and drives it over the wall. That was his home run yesterday against Roy Halladay.
1-0 delivery to him. Galarraga gets that one in there for a strike. Galarraga has given up 10 home runs on the year. 5 right, 5 left.
And he's given up a home run in each of his last 5 starts. 8 home runs in total, all coming in the month of May.
1-1 delivery on the way, and that'll be taken outside. Luke Scott gets ahead on the count, 2 balls and 1 strike.
And you pointed out, Gary, the problems with his release point and how inconsistent he is. And if you're going to be inconsistent, every once in a while that ball is going to creep up, get out over the heart of the plate, and cost you a long ball.
And that certainly has happened to Galarraga here in the month of May. Very short lead at first base for Mora. 2-1 delivery to Scott. Towering fly ball to right field. Maglio Ordonez. And he's got it. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. The pitching duel continues at Camden Yards. Orioles up.
Thursday home game at Camden Yards, you can meet some of your favorite former Orioles at the Orioles Alumni Autograph Series. It's all at the Masson booth on Utah Street near Gate A. The autograph station opens 90 minutes before first pitch and stays open until 30 minutes before game time. Tonight's Orioles alumni were Ken Dixon, Calvin Maduro, and Joe Orsulak. So come out to Oriole Park this season on Mondays and Thursdays and relive some of your favorite Oriole memories. Gary?
I just think that's a great program instituted this season. Bill Stetka running that. That one down the line, and Melvin Mora will not have a play on it. Jeff Larish at the plate. Larish was a strikeout victim, the designated hitter for the Detroit Tigers. 26 years old from Iowa and came through the great baseball program at Arizona State University. Played last season 42 games with the Tigers, his first major league experience. 0-2 pitch to him, breaking ball. Did he go? Check at third, and no, Sam Holbrook.
Well, Gary, you mentioned Larish and how versatile he is and what they can do, and this is all part of the design of getting Gary Sheffield off the roster, giving him more versatility and a little more athleticism.
That's going to be a base hit. Nick Markakis over, will have to play it off the wall. Larish on his way to second base, and he will go in with a double. So Larish leads off the inning with a 2-bagger. Second time Detroit's gotten the leadoff man on in an inning, his first.
Well, this fastball down out over the plate, and a little short stroke by Larish puts it right at the base of the wall in right field. Markakis, as he always does, plays that ball so well, but it's not in time to get Larish, who has the leadoff double.
And now the catcher, Laird, who grounded out his first time up, batting at .240. Laird has not enjoyed the month of May on the field, hitting just .203, 1 homer. Potential tying run at second base, nobody out. See if Laird bunts. Pitch is taken outside for a ball.
Gerald Laird's a very good bunter. He can bunt for a base hit, and he can do all kinds of those things.
See Detroit 3-10 with runners in scoring position. The Orioles are second. Toronto, Tampa Bay, and Minnesota top 5 teams for a team average with runners in scoring position. That's our leaderboard presented by Firestone, a tradition of innovation. Laird with a 2-0 count. And that pitch will miss up high. And you can see why David Hernandez comes with that reputation we talked about earlier of throwing a lot of pitches even in good ball games. He's got 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, up to 73 pitches. We're in the 5th inning. 3-0 delivery on the way. That is in there for a strike. 3-1 to Laird.
Yeah, and the ideal number is right around 15 to 16 pitches per inning, and that'll get you deep into a ball game. And that 27 pitch first inning cost him. But after that, he really settled in very effectively and has stretched out this outing.
Laird will take that inside, and the first 2 are on here in inning number 5. Walk number 3 surrendered by Hernandez.
Well, he had walked just 13 all in the minor leagues. Take a look at this famous Dave's Exmo as he gets out over that front side. Pretty good delivery. Nice balance. Falls off a little bit toward the first base side, but he really made a very committed pitch to that inside part of the plate. Just missed.
And we hope you'll come in to Famous Dave's for the best tasting, most award-winning ribs in America. Ramon Santiago. And showed bunt. Runners at first and second, back to the bag. I hear that name, and the first thing that comes to my mind, you want the truth? You can't handle the truth. You don't want to hear the truth. Ramon Santiago. That was the name of the young soldier in the movie, right?
Yeah.
Who lost his life. A 1-0 count. Moving in at first and third now are Huff and Mora. And a look back. Larish at second base and Laird on at first.
Well, ideally, with the corners crashing here in a bunt situation, you'd like to throw a high fastball, see if you can't hit Santiago to pop it in the air.
He's got 3 sacrifices. He does not show bunt there. And it is a 2-0 count. Switch hitter, 231 right-handed, 375 left-handed. 3 home runs he's picked up have all been hit from this side of the plate. Jimmy Leland over there making the decision how he wants to play this, down 1-0. 2-0 delivery. No bunt shot again. Hernandez gets the strike. 2-1.
Well, Santiago's done a good job swinging the bat, as you mentioned, the 300 average from this side of the plate. Plus, he's already driven in more runs this year than he drove in all year last year. He has 20 RBIs. Both he and Adam Everett have done a nice job along with Placido Polanco. A pretty effective trio splitting the time in the double play combination.
2-1 delivery. There's the bunt, fouled off. So he does not get it down, and the count will go to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Mora and Huff will back up, assuming Leland does not want to try it again with a 2-strike count. Hernandez, 2-2. He does show it, and he does drop it, and they got to play at third and get the out. That is one made for the defense, Buck.
Yeah, Greg Zahn did a real good job. He hollered immediately third, and watch the pitcher, Hernandez, how well he fields this ball. Balance, takes his time, throws a strike to third to get the lead runner. But Zahn's the one that made the call on this bunt. Right back to the pitcher, he definitively said third, and they get the lead runner and thwart that sacrifice attempt.
So first and second again. Good play by Zahn. Top of the order. Here is Cleet Thomas, takes the pitch up high for a ball. And that is always the danger of bunting with 2 strikes, that the corners have moved back and the third baseman now can cover. So if you don't get the good bunt down, the play at third is much easier than if the bunt comes earlier in the count. Thomas rips that one, but it's going to be a foul ball.
But when you really think about putting this bunt on with 2 strikes, it's probably a better option than letting him swing away with the possibility of hitting into a double play. Even if he bunts foul, you still have first and second with 1 out. So Jim Leland, who knows his players very well, said, you know what, he's going to put it in play, but unfortunately hit it right back to the pitcher.
Thomas, 1-1. And the fastball is there for a strike. Thomas is another one of the players who got initiated at the major league level last year. He too played in just 40 games for the Tigers. It is his 5th year of professional baseball. He is out of Jacksonville, Florida, 25 years old. Up the middle, that is a base hit. It'll slow down on the wet grass. The only play is going to be at third. Jones throw to Mora. Not quite. A perfect throw on the hop, and they might have had a play, but that one skipped away, and Mora had to block it. And this game is tied in an RBI single by Clete Thomas.
Thomas looked like he stayed on a changeup very well. This ball is away from him. Look how he extends that bottom hand, drives it up the middle. Adam Jones charges hard, but he gets to it in a time where he has to go to third base, makes a strong throw, and the ball took a bad hop and kind of handcuffed Melvin Moore. All Moore could do was make sure he blocked it so that runner at first base couldn't advance. Melvin made a good play. Jones made a strong throw. They still have the double play in order.
9th RBI for Thomas. And now Polanco will stand in. He has flied out twice in the ball game. 1 down, game tied at 1. Each team with 4 hits. Told you Polanco has done big time damage to the O's. A .356 career hitter with 9 homers and 45 RBIs against Baltimore. 1 away here. Orioles will try and see if they can get the ground ball for the double play. David Hernandez keeping an eye at first. Polanco will take it inside. Zahn comes over to block it, and a 1-0 count.
Again, the thing that has been impressive about Hernandez is even though he's had 3 walks, he just continues to fire away, trusting that fastball.
1-0 count. 1 down. Infield double play depth. Polanco hits the pop up. Third base. Mora. Ball came back to it. And another big out gain by Hernandez. And now there are 2 down with runners at first and third. Maglio Ordonez, he has singled and flied out to center field in the ball game. Ordonez, his best number offensively so far this season has come with runners in scoring position. .366. 100 points higher exactly than his current batting average overall. Santiago at third. Thomas at first. Ordonez will take the slider for a strike. David Hernandez at AAA this year in the 43 innings that he worked. He gave up 3 home runs, the 60 strikeouts in 43 innings, and 13 walks. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That one in the air to center. Jones going back. Adams got a bead, and he's got it. A run in on a couple of hits. 2 will be left on base, and the pitcher's duel goes on in a 1-1 game. By M&T Bank, looking forward.
Dontrell Willis, the left-hander, just called up from the minor leagues, making his 4th start of the season. He's pitched pretty well, 1-1 record. Brad Bergerson, he will be making his 8th start already. He is 1-1. He is really trying to get a little bit better command of his off-speed pitches so he can throw them when hitters are looking for the fastball, but he is really enthused about pitching to Matt Wieters tomorrow.
Ball taken in the air to right field by Reimold into the corner, and that will be a foul ball. Nolan Reimold, a strikeout victim, leading it off against Armando Galarraga here in the 5th inning. Reimold's got a 3-game hit streak coming into this ball game. Continued, of course, with the game-winning homer yesterday. 3 for 10 during the streak. 2 straight games in which he has delivered a home run. Zahn and his tourists to follow. The last Oriole rookie to hit an extra inning walk-off home run was back in 1991 against Donnie Paul of the Chicago White Sox. Leo Gomez is the last rookie to have a walk-off homer in the extra innings for the Orioles. Reimold is now in that place, and maybe way back left field, goodbye home run. Nolan Reimold, 2-1 O's.
Not often that you see a young hitter come up and really display power early on. And this is raw power right here. Watch how he flips this breaking ball with his wrist. Reaches out, extends it, just kind of flips the barrel of the bat at that ball and hits it deep into the seats to the left.
Madhu.
Wow. What a stroke.
Nolan Reimold delivers the homer, his 5th. So he's now at a home run in each of his last 3 games. And the Orioles go back on top by a score of 2-1. And no matter what they said to Reimold, they being the Orioles organization, Dave Tremblay, the manager, coming up here knowing there were at the time probably 3 players battling for the left field spot and just telling him to play and you'll play while you're here. It's got to be a little bit relaxing for him, Buck, at this point, to know that he's done well enough to expect to play in left field now.
Yeah.
And to be able to just kind of get back to playing the game.
And I still have to commend Dave Tremblay for the way he used him, because he brought him up, put him right in the lineup, and he hasn't sat out since.
Yep.
He has really done a good job, and he was red hot when he got here, hitting .394 and had 9 home runs in the minors. So you don't want a guy to cool off, obviously, and when Dave made the announcement that Reimold was coming, he's coming to play. He said he's hot, we're going to put him out there, and he'll play as long as he does a good job.
Hands on, trying to match it, goes deep, but that will be a foul ball. A strikeout victim, his first time up. So once again, the Orioles are using the long ball. Luke Scott, solo shot, his 7th. Nolan Reimold, solo shot, his 5th. Greg Zahn, shallow center. Granderson. He's got it. Zahn is retired, 1 away here in the 5th inning. So the home run continues to be a problem for Galarraga as he's given up 11 on the year.
Yeah, and we mentioned the run of home runs in the month of May. He has now given up 10 home runs in the month of May, including for the 3rd time 2 in the same game.
And that's the sinker ball that's not, and the slider that's flattened out on him. And a strike taken. So the Orioles go back up as Torres delivered a single his first time up. So he continues to do a tremendous job for the Orioles in that 9 spot, and to center field. Granderson will not get it, knocks it down. A 2-for-2 ball game for his Torres.
Well, yesterday Robert Andino started in his Torres spot, got 4 hits, and his Torres comes right back with 2 more. So the shortstop position has been red hot over the last couple of days. Good moving fastball, but he stays right on it. Watch how he extends through this ball. Goes and gets it and then just drives it into center. Head stays down, high follow through, and he has his second hit of the night.
Torres now has got 6 hits in his last 10 at bats. 1 down. Brian Roberts. Roberts rips one. That's going to fall in for a base hit. Ordonez cuts it off. And the Orioles getting to Galarraga. 4 up, a homer, and 2 singles with an out in the middle. Roberts with a 2-hit ball game, 2 for 3.
Now it's about time for Adam Jones to make an adjustment. He has the ability to do that. We have seen it the last several games where he has a batted bat or two, and then he'll make a little adjustment, and a pitcher generally pays for it. 2 games ago, first 2 at bats had a double play and a strikeout. Third at bat hits a 2-run home run, difference in the game.
And he gets mad about it too when he has at bats he doesn't like, which he's had 2 of so far in this ball game. Meanwhile, at the mound, Rick Knapp, the new pitching coach, 27 years in professional baseball, 12 of them as the minor league pitching coordinator with the Minnesota Twins. He was a pitcher in the minors, was he not?
Yeah, he was a pitcher in the minors. He's a Baltimore native that grew up here, pitched at Virginia Tech collegiately, and he's done a nice job in his first year. As we mentioned, his Tiger Ball Club leading the American League in ERA.
And he gets a lot of credit from Jim Leyland for the job he's done with the staff. So the Orioles threatening to have a big inning. Jones up. That one in the air to right field. Maglio Ordonez. He'll get it in a position to throw, and does, to the cutoff man holding the runners. Jones retired. He's 0 for 3 in the ball game, and there are 2 down here in the 5th inning. And that'll bring up Nick Markakis. For 2 in this ball game on the homestand now for Markakis. 3 hits and 16 at bats.
Ryan Perry, a young rookie that throws hard, is beginning to loosen up down in the Tigers' pen.
2 down, 2 on. Markakis will take it away for a ball. Nick has cooled off here this month, trying to get the RBI numbers going again after a red hot start, and obviously still a highly respectable 300 batting average. 1-0 delivery to him. Slider, strike.
That's how much Nick Markakis has grown. When he gets down to around 300, everybody goes, what's wrong with Nick?
Yeah.
He has become such a good hitter and such a patient hitter. Runners in scoring position, he's been wearing it out. 386 clip with 33 ribbies.
He's got a chance right here to pick up another, or maybe 2. Here's the 1-1 delivery to him. That'll be inside. Nice stop made by Laird. Nick comes into the ball game 6th in the league in runs batted in. Those 39 RBIs leading the Orioles. Right behind him, Aubrey Huff with 38. The leader continues to be Evan Longoria, 51 RBIs for Tampa Bay, and Jason Bay second with 48 for the Red Sox. 2-1. As Torres off second, Roberts off first. Markakis the other way. Luke Thomas. And he's got it. And a good job by Galarraga, but Nolan Raimo led off the inning with a solo shot, his 5th of the year. And with that, the Orioles retake the lead at 2-1.
Of our Geico game highlights, and he has been impressive in his major league debut. First strikeout in his major league career, none other than Miguel Cabrera. He's shown a good fastball, commands against Jeff Larish. That was his second strikeout, and over the course of 5 innings, 1 run on 4 hits. He stranded 5 Tiger base runners.
And we're in the 6th inning, and that ball will be fouled away by Cabrera, who has struck out and grounded out. Cabrera coming in with the 5-game hit streak and the major league's best batting average at .370 and 37 RBIs to go with it. 10th in the league. That one went right by everybody.
Back up breaking ball. Yeah, it was a slider, and sometimes pitchers will get around it and it'll actually go in the opposite direction of which it was meant. 91 pitches in total, 53 strikes out of those 91 pitches.
2-1 delivery, big hack, and fouled away by Cabrera, and the count will go to 2-2. The job Hernandez is doing is against a ball club that since the middle of May has hit .298 as a team. Their on base percentage of .434, slugging percentage of .623. Swung on and missed, and again there's the jump on that fastball, and Cabrera strikes out for the 2nd time.
2-2 fastball, trying to go down, but he's got enough velocity and a little extra zip upstairs. He misses his spots but gets the strikeout.
Great strikeout pitchers, Buck, do have a way of getting away with high pitches, don't they?
Yeah, they sure do, because you see it and then it just kind of skips up even a little higher, especially with 2 strikes when you chase like that.
Curtis Granderson. Granderson has singled and walked in the ball game. The Orioles have the 2-1 lead. First of 4 over the weekend here against the Tigers. And an 0-2 count.
Gary, you and I have talked about it as far as who has the advantage in a pitcher's major league debut, and I have always said it's the pitcher. If you take an aggressive approach like we've seen from David Hernandez tonight, you can catch them off guard before they have a chance to read your pitches. And they don't have a lot of video, as you see Matt Albers beginning to loosen up down in the bullpen.
This is that inning that the Orioles have so desperately needed their starters to get through, not just 2. If you can get through the 6th inning, then your bullpen is allowed to do what it is designed to do, and you don't have to search for that bridge pitcher that lengthens the work of your pen. 1-2 delivery, and that's going to be a base hit. Well, Granderson continues on, 3 times up, 3 times on, including a couple of singles. Visit Orioles.com right now for your chance to win the Adam Jones Bobblehead Night VIP experience. One lucky winner is going to receive 4 VIP seats, VIP parking. It's on June 17. The Mets are in town. You could win 4 passes to watch batting practice right on the field. Don't miss your chance for a whole new experience at Oriole Park. Enter today at Orioles.com. 6 hits now for the Tigers. Inge is hit into a double play and flied out. Brandon Inge with the 12 homers, 33 RBIs. Granderson with big time speed. Doesn't go there, and the strike taken.
Well, what an interesting pitch. First pitch changeup. You got a guy up there thinking fastball, and you throw a changeup down in the strike zone, and you can't even swing at it. Just freezes the hitter.
Oh, 1 count. Inge will take the slider away. Inge has had big numbers on the road this year. He's hitting .318 on the road and only .222 at home in Detroit. Came into the ball game with an 0 for 5, has extended that to 0 for his last 7. 1-1 delivery to him inside, and a 2-ball 1-strike count.
Yeah, that changeup got away from him. He was trying to throw another good changeup, but he was a little bit slow with his hand instead of getting it out in front, and that's why it stayed on the inside part of the plate.
2-1. Granderson has made no move to go. Throw over will get him back in. Talked about the strikeouts that have been picked up through his minor league career. He's second in strikeouts, coming up from AAA this year. AA Bowie led the Eastern League with 166. He led the Carolina League with 168 strikeouts in 07. Granderson back again. And with Delmarva in 06, he had 154 strikeouts, leading the Sally League. Everywhere he's been, the K's have piled up. 2-1 delivery on the way, and there goes the bat. Look out, right into the Tiger dugout.
Been a long time since Jim Leyland's moved that fast.
Now listen, he's put in Jen every game. What more does Brandon want out of his manager? You don't take his head off.
Boy, this is a changeup. He loses the bat. Look at the skipper bailing out, and a wise move. That bat sailed right over the perch he was sitting on. I don't know if he just got missed by it. It looked like he might have been late getting out of the way.
2 ball, 2 strike count. Anderson running, swung on, no, throw down, and skips into center. Jones will have no play at third base. So Granderson will get a stolen base. The error charged on the throw by Zahn, and the potential tying run moves all the way over to third.
Zahn had a pretty good shot at him right there, but the throw is short of the mark. Brian Roberts can't take the short hop. That leads to the air and the advancement to third base. Here's the Exmo view of the ball, just short of the mark. Short hop bounce. You see what happened? Granderson's foot hit Roberts' glove, so he couldn't make a catch on the short hop, and that's what costs on the air.
Infield is in. 3-2, and he walked him. 4 walks surrendered by David Hernandez. That does set up a potential for a double play here, with Larish coming to the plate. So speed again creating an opportunity with Granderson's stolen base in the air, moving him all the way over to third. Now first and third, only 1 down. Granderson 8 out of 10 in stolen bases. Designated hitter Jeff Larish, batting .232. And Larish will take the pitch down low for a ball. Infield, a double play depth. Oh, big cut on that one. He's had the hitters off stride for the most part in this game.
Yeah, he sure has, Gary. That's a good call because he had the good fastball early in the game, and then he's been able to incorporate the changeup more consistently here in the middle innings.
1 ball, 1 strike count. Runners off first and third. Breaking ball will miss down low, and the count goes to 2-1. He certainly has had to work in this ball game because it has been so close, with Armando Galarraga able to pitch out of jams on the other side and pitching against a ball club that offensively is hitting the baseball. 2-1 delivery on the way, and a towering pop-up. Got a chance for a big out here. Melvin Mora, and he's got it. And the runners will stay at first and third, and 2 down.
Hernandez made some good pitches, boy. He has stranded 5 to this point. He's got 2 more on board. And take a look at the foot. The foot gets down. The hands drop underneath the baseball ever so slightly. And Hernandez gets exactly what he wanted, that pop-up.
He has been able to find the big outs in this game so far. Dave Tremblay is on his way out. And he's going to the bullpen. 108 pitches thrown, the hand for his first major league game for David Hernandez.
By David Hernandez, 5 2/3, 5 hits, a single run. He's responsible for the 2 base runners on base, 4 walks, but he's able to pitch around the damage from those walks so far. But it's a good move in my estimation by Dave Tremblay after the emotional pop-up to get the second out of the inning in that 1st and 3rd situation. Bring in a fresh arm. Matt Albert's been throwing the ball great. Give Gerald Laird a little different look here, as all you need is one more out to get out of this inning and protect this 1-run lead.
So Matt Albers will try and get that done in his 12th appearance, as David Hernandez will be the most interested observer of what goes on here, as he's responsible for the 2. He can get out of the inning if Albers can. Hernandez got a chance to be the winning pitcher. Albers in his 12th game has a 5.27 ERA. He's given up 8 runs, 17 hits, and 13 2/3 innings. But Matt went down minor league, then called back up trying to get his game straightened out, and he tied a season high with 2 scoreless innings on Tuesday against the Jays. Gerald Laird has walked and grounded out. 1st and 3rd, 2 down, shows bunt, was not a suicide.
Now, he's an excellent bunter. He will bunt for base hits throughout the course of a season. He felt like Melvin Moore was back, and that ball hit him on the finger as well. So it's going to take a little while as he tries to get the feeling back in that hand, but he got too much of the hand around the barrel of the bat, and this ball runs inside. Look at his hand is exposed as he bunted it on that barrel as well.
Good way to bust your knuckle or finger.
Yeah, it sure is. Just too much of that hand exposed. Try to keep it right behind the barrel of the bat, but Matt Albert's movement on the fastball kind of jammed it.
Now, as a catcher, would you take that into consideration and try and come back with heat against a hitter right now?
Well, I think you got to go with Matt's strength, and right now it is a fastball. Just stay down with that good sinking fastball. That's what he's been doing so well.
1-0 count. And the fastball just inside. Just inside. I think the count is 1-1.
Yeah, it is. There's the umpire. Adrian Johnson indicating 1-1, so the scoreboard will have an idea that it needs to correct itself.
1 ball, 1 strike count, 2 down. Slider. Albers will miss outside with it. And a 2 ball, 1 strike count. Orioles have the 2-1 lead, but Tigers threatening.
You see the grip on that baseball. He's going to throw a slider. He really finishes out in front of it. It's a hard curveball, breaking ball that breaks too much out of the strike zone.
And the 2-1 delivery. That'll be down low. Nice stop made. And the count goes to 3-1. Granderson over at first base. Brandon Inge. There are 2 down, 3 ball, 1 strike count. And walked him, and the bases are loaded. So Albers comes on, walks the first batter he faces. That's the 5th walk the Tigers have picked up in the ball game, and the bases are loaded for Santiago, the number 9 hitter. The shortstop was hit into a fielder's choice and grounded out.
Well, that was the guy Albers wanted, the right-handed batter. Now you've got to deal with the switch hitting Santiago in the 9th spot.
Tigers had the bases loaded in the 1st inning with 2 down. Inge flied out, bases loaded here, 2 down. And a foul back by Santiago, who was just trying to loop one for a base hit right there.
Santiago has been pretty productive, as we mentioned. He's got 20 RBIs, and he's hit 400 with runners in scoring position.
Nothing wrong with that. Santiago with the bases loaded, 2 for 5. Matt Albers trying to preserve a chance for Hernandez to get a win, and the Orioles keep the lead. Down again and fouled straight back. 0-2. So Santiago in the hole here. Matt Albers, the 0-2 delivery. An off-speed pitch outside, 1-2.
Trying to go back door with that curveball. And Santiago just too far away. He wasn't tempted to chase.
One and two now. Bases loaded, 2 down. Santiago's gone. Strike 3 called on the inside corner. Matt Albers leaves the bases loaded. David Hernandez, first major league start, a chance to be the winning pitcher.
Time to check in on the minor leagues. Chris Tillman was scratched from his expected start today in AAA Norfolk. He is still nursing that sore groin. Also, Jake Arrieta gave up 2 earned runs in 6-inning pitch, but went on to get the loss as Bowie fell to Altoona 3-1 this morning. And of course, the biggest news of the week, Matt Wieters makes his major league debut tomorrow. The Orioles are expecting a very large walk-up crowd, so if you want to come to the game and avoid the lines and avoid the crowd, get online, order your tickets right now, Orioles.com, or you can call 888-848-BIRD. Everybody wants to see Wieters, Gary.
Matt Wieters. Did you hear that, Buck?
Matt Wieters, I understand he's coming
tomorrow night.
Okay.
That ball hit in the air to right center field, going over Ordonez. Not going to get it. Aubrey Huff on his way to second base. He will cruise in with a stand-up double. His first hit of the game. Now a 6-game hit streak. And the Orioles with the leadoff man on in the 6th inning.
That ball run right back out over the plate. It was that 2-seam fastball, and Aubrey stays on it. His foot gets down. His hands are back. Look at the extension all the way through the stroke. Follow through, bat coming around, barrel flying through the zone, and he hits it past Ordonez, who has to track it down after it goes off the wall in center. Been a disappointing month for Armando Galarraga.
Aubrey Huff on with his 14th double of the season. Foul back by Melvin Mora, and the way the Orioles are swinging right now, if you judge the pitcher by the hitters, Galarraga's lost a couple of inches on that fastball. I mean, they are teeing up right now. They're getting some big cuts.
Yeah, and they have been swinging the bats well. We saw that yesterday, and down in the bullpen, here's Ryan Perry for his 2nd time tonight loosening up. It won't take him long to get loose here this 2nd time.
Mora single and is hit into a double play. And the fastball will be taken inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Orioles trying to extend the lead here against the Tigers. And you'll note what's happened in recent Oriole games during this 3-game win streak they're in. And over the last week, the ball games suddenly have continuity. They're real baseball games, and I don't say that negatively. That one looped in the air to right field. Ordonez coming, not going to get it, but he fooled Huff. Huff's going to go anyway. Here's the throw. Ordonez off the relay, and he's safe. Maglio Ordonez deked Aubrey Huff, and Huff went back to the bag and still took off and made it to third base on the single by Mora.
Yeah, Aubrey Huff doesn't get fooled very often on these balls, and that time Ordonez sold him. He flashed the glove as if he was going to catch it, then the throw is offline. Santiago has to cut it. But Huff goes back to tag, thinks that Ordonez is going to catch it. Indeed, tagged his bag, and then hustles over. The throw was offline, so Santiago had to redirect it to Inge, and it's not in time.
And in the end, the person who got deked was Ordonez. He didn't think Huff was going to go, so he kind of relaxed. And as Buck said, didn't make a good throw. So first and third, nobody out. Orioles now with 9 hits in the game and a second visit to the mound.
They need Galarraga to get sorted out, and they're going to try to let him work through this situation right here. He's got a tough opponent in Luke Scott. Ryan Perry's ready now, so if they decided to make a change, they could have done it. But Luke Scott, home run already, and just missed a second home run when he got underneath the ball and drove it high into the air in deep right field. But right now in this situation, first and third, nobody out. Luke's looking for a ball that he can elevate, and he has been so good to the big part of the field. Minimum he wants right here is at least a sac fly.
First and third, nobody out. Luke Scott away for a ball. And left-handers have hit Galarraga at a 304 clip. Right-handers 236. So it's been about the left-handers with damage done against Galarraga. DH 1 for 2 in the ball game. 2 career home runs off Galarraga. 1-0 delivery. Scott went 1-1. Home plate umpire Adrian Johnson making that call. I was talking about tight games. What I mean, I think it's a great sign for the Orioles that they're in these ball games now that aren't 7 or 8 to 2 in the 5th or 6th inning.
Yeah,
now they're ball games
where your defense makes a difference, execution makes a difference,
strategy plays a part.
Yeah.
1-1 delivery on the way. A towering pop up to right. Huff will tag. He's not going anywhere. Ordonez, he'll throw it in as Huff took off and drew the throw and then goes back to the bag.
Well, Nolan Reimer will bat with 1 out, and he has been a home run machine since he's come up here. 5 on the season. He homered in his last at bat in the 5th inning. Hit a slider up for Armando Galarraga. His 5th home run, his 10th RBI. And he's the first Oriole to hit a homer in 3 straight games since Melvin Moore did it last July.
And he has really been hitting the ball hard. The kind of home runs you as a manager or organization want to see Reimel get. They're balls where he's just making great contact. They're line drives that he has sizzled out of the yard. First and third, 1 away. Galarraga will look for yet another ground ball double play here. He got one in each of the first 2 innings that got him out of trouble. In the infield at double play depth, Huff and Moore are the base runners. Reimel takes the slider for a strike. Orioles came in 9th in average in the league and 9th in runs, 5th in home runs as they continue to move up in the homer department. Here's the 0-1 delivery. Ground ball towards third. Knocked down by Inge. There's one. Relay over to first. Great play. It will deny the Orioles a run. He gets the double play. Inge first had to stop it, and then a quick relay by Polanco. Orioles lead at 2-1.
I wasn't old enough. He kind of snuck me on the team and let me play. So I started playing at 3 years old. So that's my first memory of baseball.
Pretty impressive 3-year-old playing T-ball. He was drafted by the Orioles. That's Brad Bergeson in 2004 in the 4th round. He was the minor league pitcher of the year, the Jim Palmer Award winner in 2008, 16-7. 23 years old, out of Fairfield, California.
All right, covering the bases, Brad Bergeson tonight. We thank his mom Sue for coming on with us earlier during our broadcast. Orioles with a 2-1 lead. Real good ball game. Matt Albers stays on, and the pitch will be taken away. Top of the order, Cleet Thomas, RBI single, driving in the lone run that came in the 5th inning. Laird had reached on a walk and scored. Thomas, the left fielder, now with 9 RBIs. Albers got it in, foul back, 2-1.
Gary, you wouldn't think Danny Baez would be available tonight. He worked 3 innings in last night's game. He was the winning pitcher. Brian Bass worked 2 2/3. So Matt Albers, boy, if he could give you 2 here, give Jim Johnson the 8th and George Sherrill the 9th, that's a pretty good formula.
2-ball, 1-strike delivery. Baez has yet to be used on consecutive days this season, consistent with what Dave Tremblay and Rick Kranitz said would be the case. And I'm sure he is not available for this ball game tonight. 3-ball, 1-strike count. Albers, the leadoff batter, will take it down low, and it's a walk. Well, the 7th inning starts with a leadoff walk for David Hernandez. He came out of the ball game with a chance to win it in his major league debut.
The last 3 Orioles pitchers to make their major league starting debut. Bergeson against the Chicago White Sox. He won that game going 5 2/3. Jason Birkin against Toronto. 5 strong innings, 2 earned runs allowed. He too won. And David Hernandez, 5 2/3, a single run allowed. He is in position to win as we speak here in the 7th inning.
Leadoff man Thomas on, Polanco up. Rest of this series, Brad Bergeson will be the starter tomorrow night against Dontrell Willis. Jeremy Guthrie goes on Saturday night against Justin Verlander. And Jason Birkin and Edwin Jackson Sunday afternoon. Bunt and a beauty. Roberts trying to get there. Huff. Ooh. Aubrey Huff turned around and there was nobody there. And so he kind of timed that like a quarterback throwing as Brian Roberts had to hustle over. It's a sacrifice for Polanco.
Matt Albers breaks off the mound in good position, and then there you see Roberts breaking toward the bag, and Aubrey kind of timed his throw right on the money to Brian Roberts. Polanco does his job, moves a potential tying run into scoring position at second base.
Polanco picking up his 3rd sacrifice of the year. Magglio Ordonez 1 for 3 with a single. Has got a 14-game hit streak, and it's taken outside for a ball. So yet another big moment. Jim Johnson in the bullpen. Ordonez, we told you, 100 points higher with runners in scoring position than his overall average. He's looking to get this ball game tied up in the 7th inning. Albers, the 1-0. Shattered bat, first base, nice play. That ball had spin. Huff gets it, gets the out. Thomas will go to 3rd with 2 down. And the 2009 Orioles yearbook is on sale now for $10 at the ballpark. You can pick up your copy on your next trip to Camden Yards or call 888-848-BIRD. The yearbook with full color pages of all your favorite Orioles, a collector's item perfect for any O's fan. Still evening now. We had light drizzle in the first couple of innings, and then it stopped. And it's been a pleasant evening. 73 degrees when we started, and I doubt that it has changed very much.
Greg Zahn out to talk with Matt Albers here in his pivotal at-bat. Zahn's done a nice job tonight handling David Hernandez. He got him through 5 2/3 innings, and now he's trying to do the same here to get Matt Albers through this tough situation. A 1-run ball game, 2-1. And Zahn has shared his thoughts about this at bat, and here comes Dave Tremblay. So we'll scratch all that preparation. So Tremblay's going to come on now, and make a pitching change. Jim Johnson is ready down in that bullpen, and he's got a power guy for Miguel Cabrera, a power hitter. So here we are, top of the 7th. Orioles lead it by 1. Jim Johnson will be in the game. The Orioles and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. Matt Albers talking with pitching coach Rick Kranitz. Couple of walks in his inning of work. Now he's looking to Jim Johnson to help bail him out of this situation and protect this one-run lead. Jim Johnson comes in for the 22nd time this season. 8 walks, 14 strikeouts. He's dealing with a tough customer here in Miguel Cabrera, as Cabrera has been held to an 0 for 3 night tonight. He has struck out twice, both of those strikeouts coming at the hands of David Hernandez. Jeff Larish is at third base. Excuse me, Cleek Thomas is at third base. He represents the tying run.
Johnson ready to go to work. Try and protect the 2-1 lead, and got the pop up to second base. Brian Roberts, and he's got it, and that'll do it. So the bullpen continues strong, leading the runner at third. 7th inning stretch time brought to you by $1,000 fans 15 and over will receive an Orioles crab mallet. It comes from Old Bay. An exclusive set. You can combine two of Birdland's favorite traditions in the summer, steamed crabs and Orioles baseball. Tickets start as low as $9. Get yours 888-848-BIRD or go to Orioles.com. We go to the bottom half of the 7th inning. Galarraga, 2-1 ball game. This is the starter for Detroit hanging out there. He's worked his way through some tough situations.
Yeah, he sure has. And Jim Leyland has a lot of confidence in him. He's been through a tough month, and we mentioned he's lost 4 games in the month of May and given up 10 home runs this month. But they need him to get sorted out, and that's why he's back out here pitching in the bottom of the 7th.
They'll get the out on the ground balls on his retired one away. Orioles bullpen being called on again now to save this ball game to get through the rest of the innings. They've been very good of late.
Yeah, they sure have. And Jim Johnson came in and got 1 pitch and got Miguel Cabrera to pop up. And the interesting thing is now he can come back and work the 8th inning and then turn it over to George Sherrill.
What'd you think of the start?
Super. It was very good. A lot of strikes. The ability to throw strikes and get his changeup over, I thought, was very impressive.
Major League debut, obviously. He had some jams, especially early on in the ball game, but was able to get it done. As Torres standing in, 0-1 count on him with 1 away. Red hot in the bottom part of the order and just missed an extra base hit down the line.
Gary, you made a great point early in the ball game. It's how everything comes together when you get a good start. You're interested about every good pitch. The defense is on their toes. Every hit seems to be important. Defensive plays tonight have been exceptional. Brandon Inge at third base has put on a show. He's started 3 double plays that have really helped the Tigers keep this a 1-run game.
And we saw the youngster make some fine plays with runners on base, holding this Tiger offense down with as hot as they've been. Again, he goes down the line. This one, though, is going to be catchable. Caught in the corner and a couple of quick outs here. And it is a good thing to have close ball games. The point I was trying to make about the Orioles is you get away from all these games that tend to either you run away from somebody or they run away from you, and you get to play solid baseball.
Yeah, and it's tough to keep your focus when you have a big lead or when you're behind by a lot. But when you're playing tight ball games, everybody seems to understand every pitch is crucial. Keeps the defense on your toes, keeps the pitchers in the bullpen really interested and focused on where they are in the lineup and the ability to come in and make good pitches like Jim Johnson and Matt Albers to get out of those run-scoring situations.
Bases are empty. There are 2 down. Brian Roberts at the plate. Roberts has already had a couple of singles, 2 for 3 in the ball game, extending his hit streak to 5 games. Brian has just been on fire of late, as Roberts hitting over 350 in his last 15 games after he had a 133 average in the first 11 games of May. Takes that one to left center field. Ball is carrying out there tonight, and Granderson will come over to get it on the warning track. So Galarraga has a 1-2-3 inning. We've completed 7 here at Camden Yards. The Orioles lead it 2-1. With the AT&T Rapid Rewind.
David Hernandez made his major league debut here tonight. First strikeout in his career, Miguel Cabrera. And he comes back in the second inning and strikes out Jeff Larish, gets Cabrera for a second time. A very good outing, 5 2/3.
AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. Johnson goes to work, and it is a strike. Granderson, Inge, and Larish are due up, 8th inning. Granderson on all 3 times to the plate with a walk and 2 singles, hitting at .255 now. And he'll take that one foul the other way, and a 2-strike count.
You know, Gary, you made a point about what a good hitting ball club this Tigers team is, but tonight Hernandez, Albers, and Johnson have all taken away their ability to take pitches because they've thrown so many strikes. They've had to expand their strike zone.
0-2. Granderson will take it away for a ball. Hernandez, David Hernandez, major league debut for the Orioles. A run on 5 hits, 5 2/3, 4 walks, 3 strikeouts. Albers an inning, 2 walks and a strikeout. And now Jim Johnson working to his second batter. Granderson is gone. He got fooled. Absolutely tied up on that one.
It looked like Johnson threw something top of the zone. 1-2 fastball. He tried to check his swing. He went too far. He just couldn't catch up to it. Watch the barrel of the bat. That's a swing. He tried to sneak it back quickly, but Adrian Johnson, the umpire, rang him up.
1 down. Brandon Inge. Inge has flied out, hit into a double play, and walked in the game. His average now at .270. Orioles have out-hit the Tigers 9-5 and lead 2-1. And a strike taken, 1-1. Orioles here at home now 14-11. Their home batting average starting the night was .304 compared to .232 on the road. The biggest difference going in the league. Down to third base, Melvin Mora. And an error. Bad throw at a bad time. Inge is on. 1 out.
Well, Melvin disappointed. It's a routine play right at him. He's got plenty of time, and he just kind of steers it over there and short hops Aubrey Huff. Skips off the grass. Huff made a desperation grab for it, but it stays low, and he couldn't come up with it. Huff's been very good at digging these balls out of the dirt, but that one caught the grass and kind of scooted on him.
So the potential tying run is on. Second error the Orioles have committed in the ball game. And that is taken away for a ball. Here's Jeff Larish. Larish, the designated hitter, has doubled 1 for 3 in the ball game with that .228 batting average. Well, the Tigers get a break and will try and take advantage of it. 1-0. Larish, that's inside to him. 2-0. Bullpen, Bobby Say in the bullpen. Galarraga's gone the distance with just 1 walk and 4 strikeouts, giving up the 2 runs on 9 hits. The Tigers starter. 2-0 delivery and missed and falls behind 3-0. Jim Johnson out of the strike zone after the error, in danger of moving the runner down and putting the potential go ahead on. 3-0 pitch. That chopper, that'll be foul. Swinging away on 3-0.
Really interesting. Johnson hadn't shown any ability to throw a strike, but Larish gets the green light. 3-0. Tigers haven't been able to put too many hits back to back. Jim Leland, the skipper, just rolling the dice a bit.
Throw over to get the runner back.
You know what? If he's going to swing 3-0, I wouldn't be surprised if they start the runner right here, 3-1.
Runner not going, and the pitch is up high. So Johnson surrenders the walk, and now the Tigers have runners at first and second base with 1 down. Bottom part of the order here with Gerald Laird, the catcher, coming up. The Cal Ripken All-Stars hosting the Valley League All-Stars, the Mid-Atlantic Classic, July 15. That'll be coming up at the Regency Furniture Stadium in Waldorf. Hope you'll get out there if you can. It'll be on Masson HD. Game time 7:05. Home Run Derby will be at 5:30. The admission is free, and you can log on for information at RipkenSeniorCollegeBaseball.org. And note the date, that is July 15 for the Mid-Atlantic Classic. First and second, one out. Down to third, Melvin Moore. It's redemption time. There's one. Double play. Hey, got him. Good pitch by Johnson, and the Orioles stay on top 2-1. History's biggest hit is back. Don't miss this.
There with my friends, and I still have all my cards. It's pretty extensive set of baseball cards, so that's something I was into as a kid and still have them.
Touching the bases, Brad Bergeson, and as a youngster playing that early T-ball, Brad Bergeson choosing baseball, his mom said, once he got into his junior year, played the other sports. Jones leading it off. Just staring out. He's not had much success against Galarraga tonight. He is now 1 for 7, including the 0 for 3. Gotta credit Galarraga. He's gone the distance here. He's right now in a position where he could have a complete game loss.
Yeah, this guy won 13 games last year, and Jim Leland's looking at the big picture. Just sending him back out there for the 8th inning.
He has not had a complete game this season. 0-2 delivery. Jones will take the slider away. Markakis and Huff. Orioles would love to be able to get at least one more up on the board. 1-2 delivery. That is down low. Adam came in 4th in average in the league, 4-game hit streak. That number is on the line here with the 0 for 3 he's had so far in the game. 2 ball, 2 strike count. That one down to third will be fouled off. He has had some tremendous numbers here at Camden Yards this season, putting up a .388 batting average. 6 of his 11 home runs have been hit here, and he's been even hotter over the last 7 games. He came in 14 for his last 30 at home with 11 RBIs, 4 home runs. Pitches outside and a full count, 3-2.
Obviously Adams very talented, but you can see the difference in home and road average. I think that has a lot to do with younger players in the most comfortable atmosphere of being at home. Routine, coming to the park same time every day, going down to the cage with Terry Crowley, and then getting out here in a very comfortable atmosphere.
3-2 delivery. Jones down to third, and he's got a base hit. So a leadoff single here in the 8th inning, and he will extend his hit streak to 5 games. Speaking of Adam, you can vote for Adam Jones, Nick Markakis, and the rest of your favorite Orioles for the All-Star game at Orioles.com. Vote orange, save green. By voting for the Birds the maximum 25 times, you'll get a free upper reserve seat to any non-prime O's game after the break. Vote early, vote often. Details at Orioles.com/vote-orange. Pitching change coming up. Jimmy Leyland is on his way out. When we come back, bottom half of the 8th inning, Orioles up by 1, base runner on and nobody out. For the AT&T Player of the Game, here are the candidates tonight. David Hernandez, Orioles starter, chance to win his Major League debut. Nolan Reimold, another home run, is 5th, the difference in the ball game. And Luke Scott, home run, second inning is 7th. Text in your vote A, B, or C. 518-62. 30-year-old Bobby Say, left-hander, under the bullpen.
Well, Jim Leyland gave Galarraga a chance to work the 8th inning, but after the leadoff base hit and 2 left-handers, he's gone to the bullpen to get his lefty in the game.
To face Nick Markakis with Adam Jones on at first base and nobody out. Markakis 254 off lefties, 331 off right-handers. Say the veteran keeping an eye on Jones. The Orioles trying to put at least one more across here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Not really comfortable with Adam Jones over there.
Nick Markakis an 0 for 3 off the only times he has faced Say. First pitch to Markakis is a strike. You don't figure, we've said this often, Adam Jones to be running in these situations, simply to give Markakis that bigger hole. George Sherrill's ready in the pen between first and second. So long as he stays at first, the first baseman, in this case Cabrera, has got to hold the bag, and that gives Markakis a little extra room for a ground ball to right field. 0-1 count. Outside with it, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yeah, it's difficult to run against Bobby Say. He's a guy that really does a good job of holding the ball, unloading quickly, and it's difficult for Adam to get a real good read on him. Obviously, that's a big run at first base in a 1-run game here in the 8th.
Say taking a lot of time here. He worked in the ball game yesterday, his last outing. 1-1 delivery. Markakis in the air, left center field. Granderson and the left fielder Thomas will take it. Jones tags the throw, and he is in. Moves up from first base. Yet another part of the things to be impressed with about Adam Jones.
Well,
they're going to appeal at
they're
first.
going to appeal. They left early. And Larry Vanover, the first base umpire, with the save sign. I tell you what, every day you watch him, he does something to impress you. He saw that this was deep in left field. The throw's right in front of him. He broke, and once there was a hesitation in left field by Clete Thomas, he just continued his path towards second and slides in very aggressively ahead of the tag of Polanco. Well, that's good play.
So instead of being at first with one away, he's at second. And the Orioles with a runner in scoring position. Aubrey Huff. Double his last time up. 1 for 1 and a walk and a hit batter on his marker tonight. One away in the bottom of the 8th inning. Santiago moving in behind Jones at second to keep him close. Huff 1 for 2 off Say. And will take the pitch for a strike in the inside corner.
And Gerald Laird has a very strong arm, and he will throw behind the runner from time to time if he senses Adam Jones is getting too far off at second. He had one of the strongest arms in the American League.
And the 0-1 delivery will miss. 1-1 from Say. Say has not had a lot of luck last 5 outings. 0-1. He's given up 5 runs in 3 innings. 5 runs, 5 hits, a walk, and 2 strikeouts in the last innings worked in relief. 3 of them. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Jones off second base. Huff will take it. That 2 will miss. Say stares in. Where was it? He thought he had a strike. 2-1.
Take a look at this 1-1 pitch from Bobby Say, just off the plate. He thought he caught the outside corner. Very close pitch, but Huff got the call.
Two and 1. The Cat sneaking in at second. And that's going to miss outside. Santiago. They want to check, see if he went around. Third base umpire says no. Santiago really playing the cat and mouse game with Jones at second.
Now it's really interesting because not only is there the possibility of a pickoff attempt, but every foot you save at second base and cutting down Jones's lead is a foot you might need at home plate if there's a base hit.
Huff ahead on the count. 3-1, 1 away. And walked him. Only the second walk the Orioles have picked up in the game. The other came to Huff in the second inning. Jimmy Leland is on his way out, and he's going to make the pitching change with the right-hander Melvin Moore coming up. So Say will work only a third of an inning and will surrender the walk. Jones is the responsibility of Galarraga. Huff the responsibility of Bobby Say. And the Tigers will go a little deeper into their bullpen. Ryan Perry coming on. The long anticipated for Oriole fans debut of the catcher, as he'll be here for game 2 of this 4-game set tomorrow night. Tickets 888-848-BIRD at Orioles.com. There's also, of course, fireworks night tomorrow night. So we hope you'll get out and see the Orioles and see Matt Wieters. You may not see the baseball when it leaves Ryan Perry's hands, however.
18 strikeouts in 19 in the third and 15 walks. He has rocketed through a very brief stint in the minor leagues, a total of 14 innings last year after being drafted out of the University of Arizona.
22-year-old right-hander from Pomona, California. Runners on at first and second base, one away. Melvin Moore singled twice. He is 2 for 3 in the ball game. We're in the bottom of the 8th with the Orioles leading it 2-1. Ryan Perry, fastball pitcher, throws an off-speed breaking ball. 1-0.
Yeah, the breaking ball is coming around for him. And early in the season, before they had Joel Zumaya back, they used Perry in 8th-inning situations ahead of Fernando Rodney. But now Zumaya is back, and they have really kind of pushed him back down in the order in the bullpen and give him a few more relaxed situations, but this is not one of them.
1-0 delivery on the way. Fastball will miss down low. Oh, sorry. Strike call. 1-1. Perry worked on the 25th against Kansas City. A 1.42 ERA, 11 strikeouts in his last 9 innings work. Right-handers are hitting 108 off him, 4 for 37. And this will send Laird out to have a word with Perry.
Ryan Perry, as you mentioned, 22 years old, and Jim Leland in the spring wanted to bring Perry along because he pitched well.
No. They're calling for the
contact
dugout, maybe a contact problem here.
Yeah, he might have an issue. Gerald Laird called over. Yeah, you can see him tell the umpire he's got some contact issues, and he's got one in his hand there, and Kevin Rand, the trainer, is out with the eye drop solution, and that's not exactly the most comforting thing for Melvin Moore. Guy throws 100 and says, "Hey, I can't see."
Perhaps you'd want to take care of it.
Yeah.
Perhaps Melvin would pick up the medical bill here.
No, but he got the little eye contact solution to put that contact back in his hand. Look at his hand shaking. He's just pumped up with adrenaline and can't hardly keep his hand still.
You don't get to see this very often, folks. A major league player putting his contact in on the mound, shaking hands and all.
And he's got a shaky hands. He can't get the contact in there.
Don't drop it.
And now
Kevin Rand's got his hand under there just in case.
Got to make sure in case it pops out. Yeah, he got it in there. I dealt with that as a player. I tell you what, you know, you never know when you're going to get a piece of dirt in there or something, and especially night games. Sometimes you have those halos around the contacts if your contact's not sitting there. We can break down a lot of things for you with Exmo, but this is the first time I've ever studied the technique of putting a contact in.
1-1. And the fastball is in there for a strike. Apparently the contact was properly inserted. A 1-2 count. 1 down. Runners at first and second base. Here's the 1-2 delivered to Mora, and he's out of there. That's what he was brought in to do, and did it. Melvin Mora arguing about it with Adrian Johnson.
It's a big-time arm, and you can see it catches the outside corner at 96 miles an hour, a little late movement. And when Jim Leland picked his 25, he said, "I want Ryan Perry. I will manage his innings, and I'll take care of the inexperience. You give me the quality arm, and we'll work with it."
So now there are 2 down and 2 on. And here is Luke Scott. There is a bit of hypocrisy in Major League Baseball when it comes to the likes of Ryan Perry. Everybody loves to talk about developing players and bringing them up through the organization and give them innings and times. Folks, if you got talent and you can do it, you're going to be here in a hurry, in a heartbeat. There'll be no messing around in the minors. Here's the 1-0 delivery. Check swing, and that is outside. And guys who throw in the mid and upper 90s and can put it across the plate aren't going to be in the minors for very long.
Especially if they're 6'4" and 200 pounds and throw strikes.
2-0 count. A leadoff single by Jones. He's at second. Huff with a walk at first. And Scott takes that one to center field. Granderson going back, warning track wall. Goodbye, home run. He's got one hot bat. Luke Scott, a 3 RBI homer in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Boy, Luke Scott has been on fire. He thought he missed it. Look at that. Hit it off the end of the bat. Thought he missed it. Threw his bat down and then pumps the fist. I knew I had it all the way. Watch where this bat makes contact with the baseball toward the end of the barrel, but certainly looked like it had enough of the sweet spot to carry out of the ballpark. He threw his bat down initially. Thought, no, I didn't get it. He got it.
He has driven both of his home runs in this game to deep center field. On a night where the air is humid and heavy, he has had no problem putting the ball through that. And a 2-homer night and a 4 RBI night. And the Orioles have a 5-1 lead. And that pitch is taken up high. Nolan Reimold added to the home run derby in the 5th inning with a solo shot, his 5th home run of the season. So all of the runs tonight for the Orioles have come via the long ball. 2-0 delivery is taken for a strike.
Now, I'll tell you one, and you look back to the base hit by Adam Jones. Aubrey Huff worked the walk against the left-hander, and then after Melvin Moore was called out, big boost for the ball club off the bat of Luke Scott.
Towering pop-up, Polanco with the angle, and he will put it away. And Reimold is retired. But for the Orioles, just what they needed in the 8th inning. The blast by Luke Scott throws his bat down. That'll be a fight in the Kangaroo Court. 5-1. On Masson is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. By Honda. You can depend on your Honda dealer for great leases and low financing. And by Heineken. Give yourself a good name. Luke Scott. And the guys were all over him in the dugout. They replayed the home run, so they made him come out and do a curtain call. And George Sherrill will come on to try and finish this ball game up as the Orioles got the extra runs they were looking for. Now Sherrill will try and put it away in the ninth.
And it will not be a save for George Sherrill, but that's academic. He just wants to wrap it up for David Hernandez to continue the trend of those Oriole rookies winning their first major league start.
It'll be Ramon Santiago, and he will take the pitch for a strike. Santiago, batting ninth, has had an 0 for 3 in this ball game. Sherrill with a chance to finish up a ball game and give the Orioles a 4-game win streak as they open up this 4-game set against the Detroit Tigers. 1-1 delivery on the way, and a ground ball third, foul, and that will take it to a 1-ball 2-strike count. Multi-homer game picked up by Luke Scott. Joins Aubrey Huff. Adam Jones. Multi-home games this season. Not a career high in RBIs. He had 5 last year in a ball game. He's got 4 in this ball game tonight. 2-ball 2-strike count. Santiago. He'll be followed by Cleet Thomas and Polanco. 2-2. A looper to first. Aubrey Huff. 1 down, 9th inning. And we'll update you on your voting for the AT&T Player of the Game. Leader is the starter, David Hernandez, at his major league debut with a chance to be the winning pitcher. Reimold and Scott, you can still text in your vote A, B, or C to 51862. Obviously, the candidates were nominated prior to the last advance swing of Luke Scott. 1 down. Here's Cleet Thomas, and that is a strike taken. Thomas has a walk, a single, RBI, a couple of walks in the game actually. 1 for 2 at the plate. 5 runs, 11 hits, 2 errors for the O's, 1 run on 5 hits and no errors for the Tigers. Tigers have stranded 10. The Orioles have left 5 on base. Hernandez 5 2/3, a run on 5 hits. He walked 4, struck out 3 in his major league debut. Matt Albers came on for an inning, a couple of walks and a strikeout. And Johnson came on for an inning and a third, and gave up just a walk and had a strikeout. Going back into the well, Jones is there. Thomas is retired, 2 down.
Adam Jones makes it look easy, ranging from power alley to power alley. Gets a great jump on the ball, anticipates the flight of the ball, and then tracks it down in right center for it with second out of his inning.
So the Orioles 1 out away from taking the opener. Polanco's had an 0 for 3 and a sacrifice in the ballgame. The Oriole pitching holding down a Tiger team that came in 9 wins in the last 12 games. Sherrill gets it in for a strike.
Boy, the bullpen has been great over the last 4 games. Consistently coming in and putting zeros on the board. Started with the great start from Jeremy Guthrie, going 7 innings. That started out the Blue Jays series.
Fouled off hard.
Guthrie was followed by Baez and Sherrill. That came on Monday. Birkin went 5 innings, and Albers and Jim Johnson 2 innings apiece on Tuesday. And then the host of bullpen relievers pitched very effectively after Rich Hill got knocked out in the 4th yesterday.
Here's the 0-2 delivery, grounded foul. Armando Galarraga would take the loss and go 3-5 and continue a disastrous May for Galarraga, a winless May, in fact, to be 0-5 with a loss here in the month of May after starting 3-0. Say gave up a run in a third of an inning. Ryan Perry 2/3 of an inning a run on the home run from Scott. Fouled away, and it'll stay at 2 strikes. So the Orioles playing some impressive baseball. Their pitchers had to work through tough situations in the middle innings. 5, 6, 7, and 8. The Tigers had at least one runner in scoring position in each of those innings. In fact, left the bases loaded in the 6th. Got nothing in any of those. Swung on, hit to third. That is another foul ball.
And the last Tiger hit came with 1 out in the 6th inning. Curtis Granderson singled to right field. Then after that, Brandon Inge walked, and then they were able to go to the bullpen, and Matt Albers, after he walked the bases loaded, struck out Ramon Santiago. That ended the Tiger threat. Stranded 3 Tigers in that 6th inning.
A victory by the Orioles coupled with the Tampa Bay loss today. The Orioles are going to be tied with Tampa Bay. Boston won their ball game today. 0-2 count, and the delivery to him, swung on, grounded to Sherrill. He'll make the play, in the books for the O's as they beat the Tigers 5-1. And Luke Scott, a 2-homer, 4 RBI game, leading the way. 5-11.